Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Mathilda, obviously, and hi, I hope you're having a bit of a great day. I am, thank you. And today this video is going to be really long, so I'm just going to dive into it right away. This video is going to be a full story about my bottom surgery, about my gender reassignment surgery, SRS, whatever you want to call it. And this is a full story from beginning to end. But now let's get into this video. But before we get into this video, I just want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Catch Beauty. And if you're not familiar with Catch Beauty, I have collaborated with them on many occasions, like since April last year. I love them. They sell IPL machines. They sell other things too, but what I like about them is that they sell IPL machines. And like, let me tell you, girl, and I'm using girl as a gender neutral, but this is how it looks like. And this little bad boy helps you remove your unwanted hair permanently, body hair, facial hair, whatever you want to remove. It helps you remove it permanently at home in the comfort of your own home. It's amazing. Like 80% of my body hair is like completely gone, and the remaining 20% just like keeps on growing back, but very, very, very slowly. It's pretty much amazing, actually. It's like magic. So if you're interested in purchasing one yourself, I really recommend Catch Beauty IPL machines because they're amazing. So you can just like use my discount code. Here's my discount code. And also you can click the link in my description box or the top comment, and they have a 60 days money back guarantee. And it's really easy to use. You just press this button right here, and obviously it has to be, connected to the wall to get electricity. We all know this. And then you just press this big button right here to just use it all over your body or your face or whatever you want to use it. And it works. It really works. But if you want to purchase one yourself, click the link in my description box. Catch Beauty. Thank you for sponsoring this video. I'm just going to get into it right away. First off, when you are getting your bottom surgery or when you're planning to get your bottom surgery, here in Sweden, the government kinda orchestrates everything and like gives you pretty much a surgeon, and then you can, accept or decline whatever, you like him or her. But I liked my surgeon. So I went to my surgeon and we discussed the risks and all of that, and there are plenty of risks. There are risks with any surgery. We know this. Everyone knows this. I hope so. There are so many risks just specifically for this type of surgery, just because, it's a big surgery. You know what they do. And it's a painful surgery, and I can put them here on the screen. There are plenty of risks that might happen to you, but it's not like it's happening every time. There's a small percentage of people getting these complications, but they do occur. So, you can talk about it with your doctor, but when my surgeon talked about the risks, I was just kind of like, whatever, just get it done. Can we just do it tomorrow? No, but I wasn't really interested in the risks because I really wanted it that much. But maybe I should have been a little bit more prepared. I'm going to talk about it down the line in this video, but they did occur a few complications and like some painful. But yeah, maybe I should have been a little bit more prepared. But I was just very excited to get it done. And also something that you might have to do prior to getting your surgery is like hair removal. I didn't have to do that, fortunately enough. Some people do. And if you're not fully comfortable with them doing it, maybe you can purchase one of these IPL machines. You kind of have to discuss that with your doctor because they have special machines, so maybe you have to use them. I'm not really sure. After my meeting with the surgeon, everything kind of went pretty quickly. Maybe I got my surgery scheduled 3 months after that. And also I had my breast augmentation during that period as well. So I had my breast augmentation, then like 2 months afterwards, in the middle of May, I had my bottom surgery because I remember it being very hot outside. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast. I'm just trying trying to get through all of this information, but this day of the surgery came and my mother went with me. She was the only one that came, but that's just like, that's okay. I don't have to have my entire family to be in the waiting room for like 8 hours, so that's fine. And the surgery took around 6 to 8 hours, and I wasn't really nervous prior to the surgery. I mean, I was a little bit nervous and I was a little bit scared, but I was really excited to finally get it done. I had waited my entire life for this, obviously, so I was really excited, but I was also, you know, a little bit scared of the risks and complications because I didn't want to wake up. I'm sorry to say this, but I didn't want to wake up and be like butchered and have to go on the TV show Butchered and be like, they butchered me, I'm destroyed, I'm ruined forever. I didn't want that, so I was a little bit scared, but I didn't really have a choice because I couldn't live on the way that I did. It actually went pretty smoothly. I love to be put under. You have the best sleep of your life. It's so refreshing. And this nurse, she really took care of me. She was like, do you want this blanket? And I was like, yes, I want the blanket. I'm cold. You really have to, you know, you need to treat yourself, girl. You need to take care of you. But before I was put under, I got this crazy medicine. I don't really remember what it's called because I'm not a native English speaker. So I don't remember what it's called in English. It's a shot that you get in your back to lose all sensation in the bottom half of your body, like be completely numb, because you know what they're going to do. People who are giving birth also sometimes get this. However, when you're having this surgery, they give you a lot more. Yeah, so that's what they gave me, and it was crazy. They gave it to me, and just 3 seconds later, I lost all sensation in my legs, and I was completely paralyzed. They even like held up my leg and was just like, can you move your toes? And I was thinking, move your toes. But I saw my foot and it didn't move at all. It was crazy. But anyways, so then they put me under, they gave me anesthesia, and I just like was completely gone. And then I woke up 6 to 8 hours later, and I waked up at the waking up center. I don't even know what it's called. And my mom weren't there because they're not allowed to be there. And this nurse, she woke me up and she asked me to rate my pain from 1 to 10. And I was just like, maybe 6 to 8. Maybe. And she just looked at me and was like, you're the first person to say that. Usually they say 10 right away, just right off the bat. When they wake up, they just say 10. But it wasn't really that painful because I just woken up, you know. She wake me up and then she started asking these questions, and then they started doing a lot of they started to look at my bladder, you know. When you're pregnant, you have these, I don't remember what it's called either. They started looking at my bladder with this thing because they didn't want any urine to be stuck in there. So yeah, that's what they did. They started checking all of the machines and all of that. And then they just told me that I could fall asleep again. And they asked me if I wanted a popsicle, which I obviously said yes to. Even if I was really tired, I wanted my popsicle, okay? I wanted my popsicle. They walked away and I just lifted up the blanket and I looked down, and even though I had all of this bandage like all over the place, but I could see that it was just like flat. And I remember feeling so euphoric. I couldn't see anything, obviously. And trust me, boo, I didn't want to see. Even though it was painful and I had aches and all of that, and I started pressing this button right away because the pain was starting to increase. But yeah, I felt so happy. I honestly I remember that moment so clearly, even though I was on a lot of meds. Then I fell asleep, and when I woke up again, I was in my room and my mom was there and we talked. However, I don't really remember this conversation at all because I was really in and out of it. I was on a lot of meds and I was just like, I wasn't myself, if I can put it that way. And then I apparently started making all of these phone calls to people. Yes, which I have no recollection of. But yeah, I did that, so that's fun. Then when I woke up again, my mom wasn't there and I wasn't as happy anymore, if you got my drift. So I do remember this. I do remember waking up and my mom wasn't there, but my mom had already been there, but you know, I didn't remember it. And this is when the 7 days of hell began. Maybe that was a little bit dramatic, but this is my video, okay? This is my video and I like to be dramatic. So I stayed at the hospital for 7 days and a lot of stuff happened during these 7 days. I'm going to briefly talk about it it because otherwise this video is going to be too long. But yeah, they came in and out and gave me meds several times a day, and I had this catheter in, and also I had bandages and like gauze inside of me, so I had that in, and I also had drainages, and it was a lot. So the first 2 days were the hardest. I had trouble sleeping because you have this catheter in and all of that. It wasn't really nice look. It wasn't good. And then at the second day, they want you to walk around. Okay, they want you to stand up to get the blood flowing. That, my friends, is a story all of its own. It was so painful, okay? Like, first of all, you wake up from the surgery and it's painful, and then the next day they want you to stand up and you have a catheter in and you have these gauze inside of you and you have these drainages. It was a lot, and they wanted me to stand, like, you stand, okay? Like, you walk, okay? You walk with all of these inside you, lady. But anyways, I tried, but it was just too painful. And also on the second day, when I had all of this stuff connected to me, people started coming in to, you know, visit me and all of that, my family members and some of my friends. I wasn't cute, okay? Let me tell you, I wasn't cute. I unfortunately don't really have any pictures of this time at all, because I didn't want people to take pictures of me, and also I didn't feel good, so I didn't really take any pictures, and the pictures that I did take, I can't find anywhere. It was just a hard time, if I'm going to be honest. I slept a lot because all of the medication and all of that. However, something I remember, I don't remember if this was the first day after the surgery or the second day, but I remember, maybe this is TMI, but I'm just going to tell you anyways. I remember feeling like she woke up. If you get what I'm saying. I don't remember why. I don't remember if I saw anything or if I don't know, but I remember it feeling weird down there, and it was a sensation all of its own. Like, the first time kind of felt warm. This is so TMI. Please YouTube, don't block this video. That happened, and it was weird. So yeah, and on the third day, I was going to remove my gauze and also the drainage. So now there's a whole story revolving this. It's a complication, and I have talked about this before, but I'm going to get into it pretty briefly. I'm not going to talk about it too much. On the third day, they woke me up at like 6 a.m. and told me that I was going to remove my drainage. It was very important that I got it removed as quickly as possible, she told me. And then I just waited. I waited a very long time. Again, at 9 a.m., she came in again and she was like, I'm sorry, the doctor, he's very busy at the moment. I'm so sorry, he can't come in. Something has happened. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to be mad at him because I had no idea what was going on. Yeah, I waited until 12. She came in again and gave me my medication. I was like, I'm sorry, but something happened. Again, the doctor can't come in. And then 3 o'clock, okay, 3 o'clock, you know, that's a long time, but he apologized. Apparently some really brutal stuff was going on. It was this girl, apparently she had complications and they had to redo her surgery, which is just like awful. They were going to remove my drainage. And let me tell you, it was probably one of the most painful things that has ever happened to me. So you have this drainage inside of you to remove all of the blood so it doesn't, you know, create blood clots and all of that inside of you. That's kind of what's going on. However, it was in for too long. Yes, my drainage was in far too long, so it had attached itself. If you're really squeamish and don't want to hear this, jump forward 30 seconds because I'm just going to talk about it pretty briefly. But anyways, so the drainage was stuck at my wall and he had to pull, like really pull. So the first thing he did, he was pulling, it didn't detach, and I was crying, and he said like, we have to remove it surgically if I can't pull it off. And I was like, okay, I don't want to be put under or anything like that. Don't do anything to that part of myself again, just do it. And he pulled, and he had to like put his feet on the table and he pulled, okay, with all of his body, and I was like screaming, and they just kept on giving me medicine and they couldn't give me more, and I was like, give me more, and they were like, we can't give you any more. And he got it off, it started bleeding, and I was crying. It was so painful. I don't really have to talk about it too much. And the crazy thing is, okay, are you about to hear this? My friends were in the other room. So when they rolled me back in, I was crying. I had like tears all over my face, and they were like, what the F happened to you? That was fun. They apologized so many times. Like the doctor, he even met me a few days later and he was like, I'm so sorry. That has never happened. He told me that removing the drainage wouldn't be painful. Okay, he told me that it was very easy. You just take the drainage and you just remove it. Like, done. It's so easy. It isn't painful at all. I was the first one. Yay. Fun time. I have like blocked it out. But yeah, then they rolled me back, met my friends and all of that. And when my friends left, I actually started crying again because I felt so humiliated in a sense, because I was like, oh, you're all alone with all of these doctors and these things keep happening to you when you can't really do anything about it. I felt pretty humiliated, even if I knew that they didn't do it on purpose, obviously, but I just felt humiliated. And also something else happened. I mentioned this in my last video as well, and some of you actually told me to just like sue the hospital, and I didn't. You can't really sue the hospital here in Sweden. We have another system, and I didn't contact that system. I just didn't have the energy. But basically what happened, I started a lot, and this like emergency thing that you can press, it was broken. I switched rooms, okay? So I switched rooms, and this nurse, she put all of my bags on my legs. I was like in this hospital bed, and she put everything on me, and then she said, I'm coming back. So she left, and I just lay there, and she didn't come back. I had all of this baggage on top of me, and I obviously couldn't, remove it because I was in bed. And then I started a lot because I didn't have the gauze and like bandages inside of me, because they removed it at the same time they removed the drainage. And removing the gauze and bandages wasn't really painful. I mean, didn't really feel anything. I mean, it wasn't comfortable. It was pretty uncomfortable, but I wouldn't call it painful. But yeah, so I didn't have any gauze or bandages inside of me anymore, and I started bleeding. And this can happen. It's not really anything dangerous, but I started bleeding pretty heavily, and no one was nearby. And I pressed this emergency thing and nothing happened. So I lay there in my own and I cried so much. This was the most humiliating thing in my life. I lay there in my own with baggages on top of me, and no one came. And then she came in and she looked at me, and I cried, and she was like,
oh my god, I'm so sorry. I forgot about you.
How? Girl, how did you forget about me? Okay, you're dead to me. No, but honestly, it wasn't the best time, okay? It wasn't the best time. And they gave me another room again, and everything was great, I guess. But the next few days was it kind of went on pretty nicely, I should say. I removed the catheter, which I was really scared about. Firstly, I was scared of it being painful to remove my catheter, and also I had heard after you remove your catheter, you need to go to the bathroom and pee for the first time, and if you can't pee, they need to put the catheter back in, and that is painful AF. So I was really nervous, and then they removed it, and it was a little bit painful. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit painful, but it was mostly uncomfortable more so than painful. But yeah, it was painful. And then I went to the bathroom and I started peeing for the first time, and that sensation was so different. It just felt like the pee came a lot quicker, just like bloop, out. Ploop, what? Yeah, you kind of get the idea. So I started peeing, and it was a little bit painful. I'm not gonna lie, it felt weird. However, it felt nice, because that day, my friends, was the first day that I could take my first shower after the surgery, and that was godsend. It was a godsend. And I think I removed my catheter on the 4th or 5th day. And also, this is when I started dilating. Maybe I told it wrong, because I remember me taking out the catheter before I took out the gauze. Yeah, I don't really remember. Okay, guys, I don't really remember in what order. Please don't come at me. I don't really remember what order, because it was like 9 years ago. But yeah, I removed the gauze, the drainage, and the catheter, and then I started dilating. And if you're not familiar with dilation, it literally means that you need to put this medical instrument inside of you to stop the vajayjay from closing up, because in the beginning your body doesn't really recognize it, so you need to put this medical instrument inside of yourself to stop it from closing up. And I'm pretty sure that you can guess how that instrument looks like. But yeah, it's made out of plastic or glass, and it's not really comfortable. I just need to say that, so I didn't really have fun. And also, it was really painful to dilate for the first time. It was like, I put this inside of me and it felt so sore, and yeah, I didn't like it at all. It was really painful. And actually, for the first 3 months, you need to dilate 3 to 4 times a day, 30 minutes each. Okay, after 3 months, you need to do it twice a day for 3 months again. After 6 months, after 6 months, you can do it once a day. You need to dilate once a day after 6 months, and that you will have to do for 6 months. And then after a year, guys, you can do it once a week, or if you're in a relationship that you can, do stuff, you can do that instead of that dilation. I would say that it's kind of like when you get an earring, the hole kind of wants to close up and you need to put the earring in. So that is kind of how it works. So yeah, and after 7 days, I went home. The first week at home was actually worse, or not really. I mean, it was worse when it comes to my pain level. However, I would say that it was definitely better, sleeping in your own bed with all of your stuff and, having a television, like video games and all of that. That was better. But I didn't have the doctors and I didn't have the same medication, and I had to dilate 3 times every day for 3 months. I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything basically, because you need to dilate all the time. And also, my doctor told me, or they recommended against walking up and down the stairs. However, my room was on the top floor, so the first time I walked up, it was painful, but I could do it. And also, my mother took care of me for the first few days. She gave me things and all of that. But one day she wasn't home and I needed to get something on the bottom floor. I don't really remember what it was, but I really wanted to go downstairs. Maybe it was food, probably. And when I walked down, or maybe when I walked up again, it was like so intense. It felt like a gunshot, like hit me right down there. And it was crazy. I felt like something broke. I still don't know what it was, but I felt like something broke inside of me, and it was so extremely painful. However, my doctor told me that the nerve endings kind of try to find each other for the first few months, so you can get weird sensations and pains down there from time to time. So I don't really think that anything really bad happened, but I called my doctor and I talked about it, and I told them, and I also told them that I started getting a fever, which is also pretty normal after surgery, because like the body thinks that it's under attack, or like a major thing has happened to it, so you get fever. The body tried to like cleanse itself. I called my doctor maybe like 2 to 3 times. It healed pretty nicely. Like the first 3 months, it healed pretty nicely, and after 1 year, everything was pretty good. And also, oh my god, I forgot to tell you, when they removed my bandages the second day or something like that, it was hard. It looked like I had been hit by a bus. Okay, it looked horrendous. I just wanna tell you that before. It looked horrendous, something out of a nightmare. It was so ugly and so disgusting. And my nurse, I liked her. She was my favorite nurse. And I was like, how does it look? Does it look horrendous? And she was like, yes. I loved her. I love her energy. So yeah, and then after 1 year, everything was healing nicely. It wasn't as swollen anymore, and I am very happy with the results. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very happy with the results and how everything turned out for me. And yeah, that's the full story. I think that was everything. Maybe I missed something, but it was just like a lot of information to get through. But thank you honestly so much to Catch Beauty for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much. I love them. And don't forget to click the link in my description box or the top comment and also use my discount. But thank you guys so much for watching. And if you have any questions, comment them down below. I'm going to compile all of the questions into one video and answer every single question that you have. No question is too dumb or too stupid. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!